which makes me a Christian voter. And absolutely no group of people over the last 10 years has been more disappointing than my fellow Christians. You continue to backflip over yourselves and twist and tie yourselves into knots to justify and rationalize your continued support of this absolutely immoral and depraved man as the leader of your supposedly moral movement. And then you have the audacity when we ask, well, how can you support him? You'll say, well, I'm not voting for a moral leader, but I'm voting for him because his policies align with my Christian values. Okay, so wait. You are voting for a moral movement, just not one led by a moral leader. When you figure out how that actually makes any sense whatsoever, please let the rest of us know. And you seem shocked to learn that congregations across the country are dwindling in size, and you can't understand why people who aren't currently part of the Christian faith want absolutely nothing to do with what you say you have to offer. I'll tell you why. It's because your words, your actions, scripture, and the teachings of Jesus don't align. Not even a little. Donald Trump is very literally the anti-Beatitudes. He mocks the weak while he himself is weak. But you'll turn to the Bible and cherry pick stories like Saul's conversion to Paul and say, well, look, all things work together for good through Christ, and God can take a bad man and do good things. You did not learn what you should have learned from the story of Paul, because what you're doing is actually voting for Saul and hoping that somehow, somewhere along the way, he becomes Paul.
Ooh.
Wow. Okay, so it's been a long battle in the church, outside of the church, over who was going to be the president. People spoke, and Trump is coming back. We've been seeing a lot of different reactions. We've been seeing people celebrate. We've been seeing people crying. How did we get here? How did this happen, Jeremiah?
I don't know.
Thank you. Next clip, please.
How do we get there? Y'all know the rule. Y'all know how this goes. Ryan, go first.
How did we get here?
Yeah.
I mean, we got here because first, I'll say this. Since we've been in Flavor Fest, I've been having some great conversation with people. One person I had a conversation with, he basically said how disgusted he was that his family was so pro-Trump, right? He was like, well, I know we're Christians and everything. He was like, but you can vote the policy and not be so excited for the man. And I saw something on social media the other day where somebody was, having a celebration. And I was like, it's really nothing to celebrate. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really nothing to just be like, why are you so into just this particular person? Like, I get it if, you are pro-party or whatever, but to be so into a person for what we know the truth to be, that just doesn't sit well with me, and it's really disturbing.
Yeah, man, I've been saying this from the beginning. You can't sit on any kind of moral high horse of voting for either one of those candidates.
Yeah.
I think both of them showed characteristics of somebody who is not a believer of Christ.
Yep.
Only God know the heart of man, so I can't call this salvation. But if I'm judging a tree by its fruit, I don't see no fruit from either one of them. I think when it came down to, at the end of the day, you got to look at those policies and see which ones align with your beliefs and where you stand. Obviously, as a Christian, I do not stand for abortion. Obviously, I'm against all this transgender and homosexuality. I believe we love the people, but we do not condone the lifestyle. So I'm not with that either. With that being said, I can't sit here and look at Trump as well and just see him as just an advocate for just biblical living and a biblical stance.
Yeah.
And I also know he's a businessman and he's a hustler. And he's proven to be untrustworthy on several occasions. He's proven to be misogynistic. He's proven to have a disdain and a lack of respect for women. He's done a lot of things that I would say are not Christ-like. So like Ryan was saying, if you're going to stand for the policies, if you're against abortion, cool, I am too. If you're against our money going for transgender surgeries and things of that nature and young kids being able to have the option to do that, I'm against that as well. But you cannot sit there and honestly be on a moral high horse saying I voted for Trump because I'm standing for Christ and look at that man and actually see a picture of somebody who follows Christ.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I'll say that to be honest, I agree with what you just said. I'm not going to be like gung-ho that like, yo, yeah. But then at the same time, it's one of those things where you see the effects of how you vote, honestly. So, but at the same time, like we have people in our comment section saying different things about the economy, saying different things about, like you just said, the abortion, different of those nature. So I think to me is if you go and you vote and you're saying, hey, I think this guy is not of God. I don't think, you know what I mean? I'm praying for him. I pray that his heart get right. I pray all this other stuff. I don't excuse his behavior, but I just can't back certain things I see with the Democratic Party right now. I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like, you know, are you happy that, you know what I'm saying? Because I think the thing is also, and I don't know if we're going to have that conversation about how did this, well, I mean, yeah, how it happened, but just looking at the culture of where we were in America. You know what I'm saying? Like, just feeling that people at any time could be like, you know, your freedom of choice, or not freedom of choice, your freedom of expression, your different things different policies. And to be honest with you, everybody's policy is different. Like, we talked to James earlier. He said it was one policy I had to vote this way because that policy affected me. Yeah. Somebody else could feel that exact same way. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I can't knock anybody that said, hey, I wanted this because that policy spoke to me. I can't be like, man, you wrong for that. I can't, because of that policy. If you feel like that policy is a strong policy for you, you can't be mad at the person who feel that way. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. I can't be mad at if you feel like Kamala's policies were way better than Trump's. If you feel like that as a faith, somebody in your faith, you'd be like, yo, man, you know, that situation would have hurt me as a school teacher, or that situation would have hurt me as for my kids. I can't be mad at you. Like, okay, then that's what you felt.
Right.
Yeah. So that's how I see it. To me, I'm seeing two flawed people being idolized by people that I'm like, I'm never gonna idolize no man. Yeah, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm looking at these people's policies and I'm like, I had to go with that policy better. You know what I'm saying? That's just being honest.
I think what he's bringing up is, even if you think the policies are better, does it not matter that the person is not of good character?
Well, I'll say this. I've seen Christians go on both sides. I've seen Christians say, well, I'm looking for somebody that's not my pastor. That's liberal. They believe they were liberal. They were voting for Kamala and saying, hey, I ain't voting for my pastor. I'm voting for somebody who I think can get the job done. So I'm hearing a Christian that said that. And I'm not knocking them for saying that, but I'm like, well, if that's how you stand, then how are you judging people who felt that way about, like, I'm not saying Trump is a good quality man. I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, I may agree more with his not thoughts, but like what he want to put in, certain things he want to put in place than that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Trump gonna tell you what you want to hear. Trump is a businessman.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, even with the Make America Great Again, I don't necessarily think he came out with that being a racist term. I think what was going on, all of our jobs were going overseas to like China and India and other countries. And what he was saying in the beginning was, I want to bring American businesses back to America. I want more American jobs. But we just followed up 2 terms with Obama. So racist people who saw that were saying, hey, make America great again. You're right, because we just had this black man in here for 2 terms. So him being a businessman, he said, these are the people who are going to put me in office, so let me cater to these people. Is he racist? Probably not. Does he lack integrity? Absolutely. Does he lack moral character? Absolutely. He's always been the kind of person that whatever the people are saying, he's going to gravitate toward that to get where he wants to get. He don't really care about nobody but himself. So if you voted for the policies that he supported, that's one thing, but you can't in good conscience keep it real with yourself and say this man is of good moral character.
But I will also say this too. Like when the election happened, my church had like a worship night and a celebration night of just Christ is King. He's on the throne and all that and that great stuff. But I will say, I feel like we idolize the laws of this country. Like I don't know if this is double-minded what I'm saying, but I feel like sometimes we like want to be like Christians based off the law. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like I said, policies, I understand those, but like I'm not putting my faith in the policies. Absolutely. I'm not putting my faith in those things. So I don't like some people, there's some Christians that's saying, yo, if we can get them transgenders up out of here, we good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Versus like, yo, how do we reach these people? How do we minister to these people? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like you're wanting the laws to be what God is calling you to be.
Mm-hmm. Well, you already know how I feel. I'm disappointed. Like, I would have been disappointed either way. but I'm definitely disappointed this way. I've been hoping and praying that the Republican Party could get this dude out of here. This means that he will never be out of here. He is permanently a part of our lives for the rest of our lives because he got a mandate.
Yeah.
I mean, he won in every single way possible.
Yeah.
So my hopes of the Republican Party getting back to good faith, morals, pushing godly character, that's done. This dude is now the Republican Party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what does it do for people like me who see the flaws in what's happening right now
Yeah.
on this side, who's never liked the Democrat side
Yeah.
ever,
Yeah.
never supported, never been called a Democrat in my life,
Yeah.
but I've had to vote against this dude because I think he's evil,
Yeah.
right? What do we do, the people that are in the middle? Because there's no party for us, right? There's no
Yeah.
party that says what they're doing over there is wrong and what they're doing over there is wrong.
Yeah.
We're just going to live by common sense, biblical principles.
Yeah.
How do I deal with this?
Well, I think for one thing is like, how do we go forward? Because honestly, I'm an independent. I voted Democratic before. I voted Republican before. So I'm not swayed by a
Right.
party.
Same here.
But I'm like just in between as well.
Yeah.
So I think for me, I look at it from a standpoint of the rise of a third party does need to happen. But then to me, I think the most important thing that really affects us immediately is those midterm elections, those local elections. And the reason I said that is because if you vote for a sheriff, like, you know what I'm saying, that meets with the people, talks to the people, says, hey, what is the problem? Hey man, when y'all have events, it's not a lot of police out here covering such and such stuff. Hey man, this cop was, you know what I'm saying? So I think, to me, local elections impact us. I mean, I know presidencies and different things impact us as well, but I feel like that real impact comes from local elections because you can get to put in council people, you get to put in mayors, you get to put in governors that affect you. And now, if let's say, prime example, unfortunately, Trump has a Republican Senate, a Republican House. He has that. But let's say in the next 2 years, in midterms, he gets the House turns. It turns Democratic. That turns. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So
I'm gonna tell you, I don't care anymore.
dang.
I'm glad this happened because I want everybody to see this is what it is.
Yeah.
I want you to see what you voted for.
Yeah.
I'm really disappointed in Christians in general, just in the church, how everybody acted during this whole process.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Like the church, I hate because the one thing that sticks in my mind is Jesus's prayer in the garden. Please let them be one. Please let them be one. And I've just seen such a division happen.
Yeah.
What we pride ourselves on this show is that we can have disagreements and we still love each other as brothers. We've been doing it for almost 20 years, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm seeing happen in the church where people are celebrating division,
Yeah.
making fun of the opposition.
Yeah.
These are your brothers and sisters, supposedly, right?
Yeah.
Making fun of them like they don't matter.
Yeah.
And I hate this.
Do y'all
man.
think it's?
I really do.
I feel like it feels worse at times when the person that you don't want to win wins, and then that person's group like is celebrating. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure like somebody could be like, "Yo, what happens when Obama won? Y'all was up in there like, yeah, the White House is all," and I'm like, bro, y'all don't understand. Like for us, it wasn't like Obama's the greatest thing since sliced bread. It was more like, yo, this is the first time we've seen something historic like that happen. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we did have a little bit of idolization with Obama to the point.
and everything.
Yeah.
Definitely. My president is black. My Lambo blue.
Oh yeah.
So-
But that
so-
was a little different though. That was a little different.
I think, man.
No. When I say
So biased, my
that,
guy.
when I say that, I mean like, you know
How
what I'm
is it
saying?
different?
Like,
How?
I'll say for my household, right? My mom bought the historic newspaper the day he got elected. There was, a photo or something, but that's as far as it went. It didn't go public. It didn't go social media. We didn't talk about it outside the house. Like the MAGA Trump Republicans, they are doing the most, and it's insane the way they have put him on a pedestal.
I don't think most people are. Going about my day, most of the people I pass aren't talking about this, aren't celebrating this, aren't saying nothing about it.
No, not anymore. I'm talking about when he was running.
I mean,
When
this
he was
you know
entire
why
time.
that
It's
happened,
been too long for me now.
I mean, when you look at the way everything, the campaigns were run, and when you talk about celebrating a person, everything was based against the person.
Yeah.
Policies wasn't the thing that was on the table.
Yeah.
It was like, look, and it's funny, like even the idea of us talking about morality.
Facts.
Right, like since when did America care about morality? Right, like and every president before
real.
him, it was an idea of how it was presented, but we knew in the background what it was, right? And then even the idea, right? I was having this conversation the other day, and you talk about like rappers. Trump is a bad guy. I'm like, bro, he represent everything you talk about. Like, he more like you than anybody else. Right? Like, he a gangster. You get what I'm saying?
That's
He's misogynist.
That's
like,
the funny part about it. It be gangster rappers like, yo, we gotta get that gangster. We gotta get him out. I'm like, you represent the same.
You are Trump.
He got the rags. He got the misogyny. He got the felonies. Like, what do you mean? He everything you want.
Yeah.
Like,
I
it's
think
weird.
too, man, we got to realize that just because people are Christians don't mean they're mature believers as well. And I think social media, while it can be a great thing and a great platform to share a lot of great things, it's also a platform for people who don't really understand the impact or have the maturity to have a platform of that size. So they get online, they say crazy stuff. People who I know have thousands of followers, putting stuff online, making fun of people being devastated about the results and all this kind of stuff. They pick and choose. They pick and choose how they want to approach things from a Christian stance or whatever. Marcus Rogers, and then it's like
Throw his name right out there.
and
I wonder who you talking about.
and and it's like and it's like and he
comes.
comes out and people say I'm standing for God, I'm standing for this, I'm standing for that. But at the same time, it's like, bro, would Christ act that way?
Exactly.
Would Christ make fun of people? Would he belittle people? Even if you standing for Christ, you do it with honor, you do it with integrity, you do it with character. Christ not out here cracking jokes on people and posting stuff of people looking bad, looking down, looking sad. God, the word says, it's God desired that all would be saved. If you do feel like somebody as a believer is wayward, lacking understanding, don't see things that way, talk to that person, go to that person in the spirit of love and have conversation and see how we can reconcile our differences and come to an understanding and move forward together as believers first, because you're a Christian first before you're a Republican, before you're a Democrat, before you're a Trump supporter. You're supposed to be a follower of Christ. That's the foundation and the basis for everything that you do. So look at your behavior. Is your behavior the characteristics of one that follow Christ, or do you have a golden calf named Trump or Kamala? I've never seen anything divide Christians like politics. This has been the nastiest, ugliest thing I've seen. And how many people are like, where is the trust in God? Whoever's in the White House, where is your trust in God?
Right.
Don't you still believe, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness and all these things to be added? Like, God is still sitting on the throne. Like, let's stop giving these people so much authority. It impacts us, true enough, but it doesn't impact us more than our faith.
Yeah.
I don't want to
I have
hear
a question
none.
real
I
quick.
don't want to hear none from Democrats either, though, because
Yeah, I was about to ask
this is your fault.
crazy.
Oh, it's definitely their
I
fault.
think there was an overestimation when Biden won that, we in here. So now we could push this and we could push that and we could make them believe this and we could.
Yeah.
And it's like people loudly just said, hey, yo,
Enough is enough.
I can't take all this. Y'all trying to change my mind about stuff, trying to change my kids' minds about stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sick of this. They got that message hopefully loud and clear. Some people ain't get it yet. But they're getting the message loud and clear. They thought that, we in here now. We could push all these ideologies onto everybody because we won. You did not win. The only reason you won was because there were enough people that felt like Joe Biden was at least close to the middle. And you come celebrating things that they're like, I don't want nothing to do with that. And you lost them. You
And
lost
and-
all the people on the edge. They were
Yeah.
like, I can't vote for you.
Yeah.
You saying crazy stuff. I can't. I can't do it.
And I think also for Kamala's sake, I feel like she was trying to be in the middle, but she started feeling the pressure from her counterparts that was far left. So she's like, and the difference is Trump is like, I'm gonna just say what it is. I don't care. But he's not a politician. You know what I'm
That's what I
saying?
tell people all the
yeah,
time.
he's not a
He's not a
politician.
politician.
So it's like when you a politician, you got to play both sides. So it's like, I'm saying, she come to a church and she's quoting scriptures, she's doing that. But then you with somebody else, it's
a
like,
whole nother-
So it's like those dichotomies that she had. I think people was like, well, at least with Trump, I hate to say it, you got what you got. Yeah.
Sadly.
But to me, this was the worst case scenario, right? Some states, the same states that voted for Trump, also voted to lift the abortion ban.
Yeah.
So then, what was all
That was
this for?
awesome.
Then?
Yeah.
Why we do this then?
Yeah.
I'm in Florida, so as you
Marco
guys know,
Rubio ain't no joke.
bro, they ain't going.
Marco Rubio ain't no
they not,
joke.
they're not going for any of that, man.
Yeah.
I'm in Trump world,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
And,
Georgia's the same way, I think.
really?
Georgia's the same way.
Well, no,
Except
the
for
governor
Atlanta
is in like, he ain't all the way Trump. I mean, he's
You
scared
know,
of
yeah.
Trump, but
Yeah, he
ain't-
made fun of his wife.
Yeah.
You talking about our government?
Kemp.
Kemp, yeah.
Oh, he used
Made
to
fun of
be.
his wife?
Yeah.
He said
Yeah.
something crazy. But he's like, I'm still supporting.
Yeah.
You still supported him.
They
and
all
made
say
fun of
that.
his wife.
Crazy.
Marco Rubio and Ted
Trump's
Cruz. Everybody.
No, Kemp's wife.
Oh,
Yeah.
Trump
really?
said something about Kemp's wife.
I was about to say, ain't nobody crazy. About bro.
Yeah.
Like, ain't nobody crazy.
Yeah, but
about
I think also too, like, what would have happened if Kamala won? We would have got celebrations.
The-
People would have been
the only
celebrating.
thing
Ignorant
is
on both
this.
sides. It's
Yeah.
ignorant on both
It
sides.
But the
would,
only
it would be
thing-
ridiculous.
If Kamala had won, the only thing is that I wouldn't have felt fear. You know what I'm saying? Like all the things that everybody was like, she's gonna do this, she's gonna do that, the transgender bathrooms, I wouldn't have feared that. But with this other side of stuff, I mean, because I just feel like God is on the throne.
So
And I
a
feel
man
he's
named
already
Leroy-
But
overcome
only
all
thing
these
is,
things.
he's on the
named
he's on the
Leroy
throne.
just like a woman reading your son books in school.
Yeah, but Ryan,
don't fear that
but Ryan,
I really don't.
why would
I'm
you?
terrified.
Why would you have fear in this sense? If you're saying you're not afraid of those things, the guy's on the throne. He's on the throne now.
He's still there.
He is on the throne, but I think when I remember things being bad
Yeah,
when
it
Donald
was awful.
Trump
It was awful, guys.
in 2016. I
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
being on the street and being run off the road by a truck that had Trump flags on it. Like I was scared for my children at that point. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm seeing things happen, right? You're talking about policies that could happen or might affect. You know what I'm saying? Like it was different for me.
I think it's subtle differences, though. I
Yeah.
think that was a direct. I get that, but look at Kamala. Look what she's bringing on stage during her addresses.
Right.
You got Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah.
Is she somebody you want
Cardi
your young
B,
daughter to
right.
be like Cardi B? She got Beyonce coming down. People not playing just to the subliminal stuff.
Yeah.
Quavo on there wearing a see-through blouse.
But
then you got
It was a different time. Then.
then you got Kelly Rowland walking down with a big suit on,
Yeah.
acting like she a husband
They
for Beyonce.
They
point-
overestimated their leeway with people.
They did.
Yeah.
They
They
did. I would
overestimated.
say the biggest thing I think might have messed them up was I say one of the biggest commercials was that Breakfast Club commercial.
Yeah, that killed.
When they were like, I want my tax dollars going
Because-
to that. Everybody else was like, yeah, I don't want my
I wish
tax
we
dollars
had
going to
that. I
either.
wish we had that to play because that was so damaging. Because what it revealed is that's what people really feel.
Yeah.
So now they were like, how do we get that taken down? Yeah, but that was how you really felt.
Yeah.
So you're trying to cover that up because
Yeah.
you're trying to get her in
Yeah.
office.
Yeah.
Trying to make sure
But
the
a
sister
lot
deceased.
of people
Yeah.
felt like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they're being honest.
Yeah.
Like
It's
that's
two things, though,
weird.
to what you said,
Yeah.
right? In the time we were in, and we were coming after Obama. So the racists,
Yeah.
it was like,
Yeah,
got
Black
the
Lives
guy
Matter.
outta
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
The Black Lives
Yeah,
Matter
yeah,
movement,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It would have been worse if she'd have won. Think about how they would have responded.
Oh yeah,
They're
no, I
banging.
believe
If he
that.
lost,
They chilling now because they
You
won.
get what I'm saying?
I believe
like
that.
you talking about run off the road. They've been running through your house. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't know what that was the thing that I worried about. Truthfully, in the beginning on both sides. I was like, if they win, how are people gonna respond to this?
Yeah.
Now what I feel like there's not a big push of like violence.
Yeah.
Right? But I feel like the division, this country will never be the same.
No.
Yeah,
You got
yeah,
people who are saying my life is over. You've had people commit suicide, bro.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like
The whole fabric of this country has been changed forever.
It's changed forever.
Well, I ain't gonna say
right?
changed. It could have been trashed for a while, but
It's been, but
Yeah.
now
it's really just like
at one time
divided,
it was
yeah.
like, bro, let's get some sports. We all gonna come together.
Yeah.
Now that ain't even working.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Except for the Olympics.
Yeah.
What
the
T.I.
Olympics
said,
is the-
I want to skate with you. I want to talk with
wanna
you.
talk,
I
I
want
wanna
to play
kick, I
with
wanna
you.
do
I don't want
nothing.
to do nothing with your partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's crazy.
But
man.
I do think that she would have tried her best to bring everybody together, but I think it was too much. Like inclusive doesn't work when it's a one-way street. You know what I'm saying? Like acceptance doesn't work when it's a one-way street.
Yeah.
I grew up in a time in America where if you didn't like what I liked or vice versa, or I didn't agree with your theory or whatever, we could have still had a
Yeah.
conversation. You'd be like, bro, it is what it is. We agree to disagree. You still my guy, but basically what our show is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yep.
Now it's like if I don't agree with your life, you like I'm cutting you off, and it's like,
hate you.
bro,
Yeah.
I literally did life with you like for years of your life. So you get what I'm saying? Like
you can hang with a racist.
Yeah. I've never
They
seen
like,
that.
bro, I don't like black people, but you cool.
Yeah.
I'm sure I didn't experience that in the
experienced
military.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, bro, I don't really, my family and this and that, but man, you're cool. I actually, at my church, I'm at a church that's predominantly white, right? Southern Baptist.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
even know how I got there.
Wow.
I'm dead serious. Like, and to be ordained, it was like really God. Me coming from a Pentecostal background.
Wow.
And God, so I've experienced.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not racism, but ignorance, right?
Yeah.
People just don't know what to say or how to say. But I literally had a cop there who told me, he said, man, only black people I have encountered were people I was locking up.
Oh God.
So now when I bring young black men in
Yeah.
there, and he's like, man, he having these conversations. He's like, bro, they cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not even knowing and understanding his whole idea was shaped around how he encountered and his interactions and the perceptions that he had. You know what I
but
mean?
the sad part about it is that for black people with the white people, it's like you represent everybody.
Everybody.
With like that one white guy, he doesn't represent everybody to us. You get what I'm saying? Like if you meet one racist white guy, you could be like, yo, I know such and such. He ain't racist like that. So you're in your mindset, you don't think every white person is racist.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying this is for every white person that encounter black people, but sometimes we come across people like that comment, oh, you're different, you're not like them. That's racist.
But you know, we present it that way a lot of times,
Yeah.
too, especially musically.
Yeah.
It's like, this is what we are.
Yeah.
This is the culture. And
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not my culture.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a lot of times
Yeah.
they present us that way, sadly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you guys checking out?
Okay. The comments was fun.
Oh wow.
Crazy stuff.
Is that somebody name?
My gay jeans.
Yeah.
Anyway, so speaking of racist people, because this is what we suspected. This is what we suspected was one of the motivations. And first of all, if this is your first time watching us, we are on the road today. We're in Tampa at Flavor Fest 2024. It's been great. It's been great so far. We actually taught a class yesterday on YouTube success. So subscribe if this is your first time watching. We'll be back in studio next week.